All right, Sean, thanks very much. For those of you just joining us, welcome to Dallas. As Clemson stays alive in the ACC race, but they are chasing the ponies. SMU off to the early 7-0 lead. Bob Wischusen and Louis Riddick. Chris Budden and BC on third down with a flag thrown from the secondary. Looks to keep this early drive alive, but they trail 7-0. Louis Bond was interfered with, but we have already seen
pass interference. Defense, number 3. By rule, the ball will be placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
And Louis, we have already seen the explosive nature of this SMU offense. They are one of the most explosive offenses in all of college football. They've got the early lead, and they control their destiny to get to the college football playoff in this league.
Yeah, you see it there on your screen. They stand atop the ACC, undefeated in conference play. They're in the driver's seat, and they like it that way.
Boston College, they can certainly run the football on you, but this is an underrated defense as well. Kobe Wilson makes the stop. They're a top 5 defense against the run, and there's no doubt Boston College is going to want to run the football against them today. They ran for 313 yards last week in their win against Syracuse.
And you see Kobe Wilson then, him and his running mate, Ahmad Walker, number 34. These two guys are smart, they're fast, they're physical. They really are the key to this game today. Those two linebackers have to fill these alleys and fill these holes inside out with consistency and with abandon. Great start by them.
Grayson James. Little pop pass over the middle. And that's good for a gain of 7 to Jeremiah Franklin, the tight end, just across the 50-yard line. This is Boston College's first trip into plus territory. Isaiah Wakobe and Kobe Wilson combine on the stop, but it's another third down. Third down and 3.
Again, and you see where the play calling is really ending up as far as Boston College is concerned when you're talking about the passing game. It's ending up between the numbers in the middle of the field. We talked with Grayson James about that. You can see it on tape. He's a big, tall, classic pocket passer with a quick release. Loves to throw the football in that area of the field.
They line up to play in a phone booth here. Trying to pick up a third down conversion. Little zone read. Robichuk not going to get there. So now BC has a decision. And Bill O'Brien said, if it's 4th down and short, we know we need 7s against SMU. You will probably see us be aggressive. How aggressive will they be here? Yeah, they're staying on the field.
Yeah, they're absolutely going for it. You see here, they're bringing in extra wide receivers. You see Louis Bond coming in the game, Dino Tomlin, number 13. Maybe try and get Grayson James out on the perimeter a little bit, give him a little bit of a run-pass option where maybe he could pick up the first down with his legs. They're going empty.
Bill O'Brien said we will be aggressive, true to his word, a 4th down try here. And now hand signals. They will split Dino Tomlin out even wider, and now with the play clock winding down, Grayson James has to call timeout.
Boston College. It'll be 30 seconds.
So a 4th down for BC when we come back. The early lead for SMU. The team that leads the ACC with a clear path to the college football playoff is SMU. And they've got a 7-0 lead on Boston College. But Louis, big 4th down here for BC in plus territory. Aggressive as Bill O'Brien said they would be.
Yeah, I would expect the ball to go in the air here. You see they have Trayshawn Ward in at running back, number 0. You got Dino Tomlin in the game. Look for him to try to get the ball to Louis Bond or Trayshawn Ward.
James floats one right, and it's knocked down. Dropping back in coverage was Kobe Wilson. Nearly had an interception, as it is a takeover on downs, again near midfield for SMU.
You can see what they're trying to do here. They're trying to get this ball to Trayshawn Ward out the backfield. And we saw this early in the season against Florida State, but they love to get the ball in these kind of rub route situations, these kind of natural pick situations to running backs out of the backfield, and Grayson James has to pull it down. SMU identifies it, and then he's just late in his progression. He's just trying to find an open receiver, but nice job by SMU of being prepared for something that Boston College tries to exploit on a regular basis.
So now the short field again for SMU. Little bubble screen, one-handed catch by Brashard Smith. And Boston College rallies to limit him to only a 3-yard gain. That was a special catch. Carter Davis got there first.
See, just a nice job of pursuing inside out by Boston College. No missed tackles in space is going to be a critical part of their defensive game today if they want to limit this offense.
Off to Smith, and it's forced by Ezaraku to the sideline. You know, you said that BC defensive coordinator Tim Lewis, they have to change the picture today against SMU. How do you do it, and how hard is it when they play this fast tempo?
Yeah, it is hard. I mean, it really requires just really efficient communication. We talked to safety KP Price about that, and we talked to Ezaraku. They have to all be on the same page and make sure that there are no coverage busts, no missed assignments, because this team will make you pay.
They bring in a blitz here on third down. Let's see. It looks like they are. Backpedaling is Jennings. He's going to sling one to the sideline. The catch made by Smith. Flag in the secondary. He's got a first down. Couple of flags thrown on the near side of the field. What a play by Kevin Jennings.
Now to a receiver downfield. Offense, number 59. 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
So that wipes away the third down conversion, and that gives BC another chance to get off the field on third down.
Yeah, they just called right tackle number 59, P.J. Williams. You're going to see him right here when Kevin Jennings is just trying to buy time because he's under pressure from Quintavious Hutchins, who's one of their fantastic edge rushers. They don't know if the ball's been thrown. They're really just they're trying to hold their blocks, but then they're trying to get downfield and help out. That's just one of the things that happens when you have a quarterback as dynamic as Kevin Jennings.
College rushes 4. Jennings avoids a sack. Spins away from Ezaraku, throws across his body, and he's got a first down hookup to Moochie Dixon. That's one where BC's got to get the quarterback on the ground.
Just watch Donovan Ezaraku. He beats the tackle cleanly. He's been doing it all year long. He's one of the best pass rushers in all of FBS. All of FBS. And Kevin Jennings, I mean, it's from his blind side. You just see him there. He puts two hands on the football to make sure he does not commit a turnover when trying to keep his eyes down the field. And that's just a great individual effort. Fantastic pass rush. You see how he just went right around Bird, the left tackle, and then able to complete the ball down the field. And here you see, when you have a quarterback like Kevin Jennings, Moochie Dixon just working all the way across field, just try and uncover and present him with an open target. And this young man can throw the football and complete it with consistency when he's on the run.
Let's take a look at our impact players delivered by Papa John's. And Ezaraku, he is an impact pass rusher, but he missed a sack there.
Yeah, he sure did. Look, he'll get his. He'll get his for sure. He's done it all season long. He's got the entire package as far as rushing the passer. Grayson James, he's going to have to impact this game throwing the football, and he's going to have to complete some big plays down the field. Kevin Jennings, what else do you need to say? You've already seen just how electric this young sophomore is. And then Ahmad Walker, the linebacker, you know, he, along with his running mate, Kobe Wilson, are going to have to be fantastic against this Boston College rushing attack.
BC down a couple of corners right now as Bryce Brown goes to the sideline. Max Tucker was shaken up earlier. Here's a handoff up the middle to L.J. Johnson, and flags thrown from behind the play and also from the sideline. Boston College might have gotten a hand up on the face mask of Johnson. Let's see.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 93. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Owen Stoudemire got a face mask hold of Johnson. That's going to cost the Eagles another 15 yards.
You see Owen Stoudemire, he does a nice job of resetting the line of scrimmage, just getting great knockback against Ja'Kai Clark, the center for SMU. You just got to be careful where you're grabbing, where you're trying to grab cloth and get these ball carriers on the ground. SMU needs no help moving the football.
Outside run, and that time not there for L.J. Johnson. Avion Crouch flowed over and made a tackle for loss. That's the 13th play already for SMU's offense in plus territory. That's a big one, though, for BC to knock them back.
It sure is. Davion Crouch, this hobbled and undermanned linebacking core for Boston College. They're going to be up against it here today. They don't have a lot of depth. Missing Cam Arnold, Owen McGowan, as you talked about. Expect these linebackers to be sent early and often in this football game on blitzes, run blitzes, just trying to affect the pocket and get Kevin Jennings unsettled.
Four-man rush. Jennings floats one and throws it away. You have Rashard Smith, at least in the area. Montavious Hutchins, who has started the last 3 games and has really become a complimentary pass rusher to Ezeraku for Bill O'Brien, was all over the quarterback.
And that time, him and Ezeraku were on the same side. And you see Tim Lewis is changing up the looks. He said, look, we're going to give them stuff that they have not seen all season long. And that time they had their 2 best athletes on the same side running a little twist game. Hutchins comes free. And we've probably seen Kevin Jennings on the run here early on, much more than Rhett Lashley wanted to.
What does Boston College bring on 3rd down and long? A delayed blitz. There's the screen. Flags down. Dixon crossing the field. And BC eventually gets him on the ground. He broke a couple of tackles. It looks like this is going to go against SMU. So now a decision for Bill O'Brien to make. It's 4th down in the red zone, most likely a field goal attempt, or do you bank them up and possibly push them out of field goal range, but give them another chance on 3rd down? This is an interesting decision for BC here.
I think with the way his defense is playing right now, I mean, he's
going to decline it.
His defensive front right now is just absolutely giving SMU fits.
Offense number 53. That penalty's decline. Result of the play. It's 4th down.
That's going to make it 4th down and 7 at the 18-yard line. And I guess that shows how much he respects the explosive nature of their offense as well.
No question. And I don't think it was number 53, Ja'Kai Clark. I think it was 54, Savion Byrd on the outside, who is having problems with this pass rush right now. Colin Rogers, he doesn't miss often. I mean, this has been a guy who's been solid for them. 16 field goals this year, 10th in the country. He's been a steady scoring presence for this football team.
This one from 35. And that is more like it for Colin Rogers. Now SMU has an early 2-score lead. 42 seconds to go in the opening quarter. But still a win for Boston College defensively if they can get a stop in the red zone and hold this offense to 3. Now their offense has to respond with some points. Again, our All-State playoff predictor, postseason projections for the Ponies. This is really interesting. 91% to reach the ACC championship game, and still only 40% to reach the 12-team playoff. So that means, and look, this is our predictor. It doesn't mean that this is what the committee is thinking. Doesn't mean that this is right. But I guess the committee does send a message when they take an undefeated ACC team, at least in conference play, and make them 14. They are sending the message that if they were to lose in the ACC championship game, they could be left out, even were they to make the championship game as a one-loss team. That's not really the way it's supposed to go.
No question.
And that probably does represent the disrespect toward the ACC that Rhett Lashley's worried about.
Yeah, I think that's why the eye test, I think that's why people need to get in the film room and really study the quality of a football team like SMU. You cannot rely on computer-generated probabilities and allow it to really influence your decision making. You got to watch this football team. You got to really break it down for how good it has been and the quality of play. They're one of the best teams in the country right now. They just are. In all 3 phases, they can put a lot of good quality play on the tape, and you need to watch it and you need to study it.
This season, All-State will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you to All-State. Well, theoretically, you are not supposed to be penalized by making it to a conference championship game. Right? You're only really supposed to be rewarded if you make it there and play an extra game. Could SMU be penalized? Were they to make it to a conference championship game as Reed Harris scoots up the sideline for about 8 yards? Say they get there, they play a Miami who right now would be comfortably into the field, and then maybe play a competitive game, lose by a touchdown, and then get left out in a game that, say, a Notre Dame wouldn't have to play.
It's a possibility, but the good thing for them is that they have ample chances now to go ahead and continue to just increase the quality of their resume, put great play after play on tape for the committee to watch. and then let the chips fall where they may.
The first carry for the surprise star of last week's game for Boston College. Jordan McDonald kind of came out of nowhere, gives BC a first down here, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter. SMU with a 10-0 lead after one.
In all three phases, we didn't punt very well, not really stopping them on defense, and we're struggling a little bit on offense, but it's a long game. A lot of football left.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Grayson James certainly seems to be the kind of quarterback that Bill O'Brien wants to play around. He goes play action here. Looking downfield. He's going to float one over the middle, and he's got a hookup with Lewis Bond. Well, Chris, there was some mystery as to who the quarterback was going to be after the game last week, but Bill O'Brien put that to bed quickly.
They did, and that's exactly why what you just saw with his arm is why he made the move. He announced it on Sunday that Grayson James was going to be the starter. He wanted this offense to be more balanced, and what James is able to do as a pocket passer, you saw the arm right there. When Thomas Castellanos heard the news, he has decided to eventually enter the transfer portal and is no longer part of the program who has started the majority of the season.
They run it here with Trayshawn Ward. And a dive ahead for about 3.
But you can just see 2 plays ago why this coaching staff and why Bill O'Brien in particular is so high on Grayson James. We talked about the in-breaking routes, the intermediate 15 to 18-yard in-breaking routes. That is something that he really excels at. And he's someone who also, when he came in the room and talked to us last night, he is supremely, and I mean supremely confident in himself. He does not get rattled. He does not get flustered. He feels as though he has great command of this offense, and he will show his best stuff here going forward.
Showing some confidence here. Empty backfield. Well protected. Allows him to take another shot. That's an inaccurate throw, though. He was trying to find Ish Zamore. And that's the first action that the redshirt sophomore from Everett, Mass has gotten this year. Another player that they are saying is earning his way onto the field as Ishmael Zamore gets his first look of the year.
Yeah, that passing concept was not run properly. The spacing was just a little bit too cluttered. They had 2 guys in the same area, Kamari Morales and Zamore. They've got to make sure as wide receivers they do their part. We know how critical it is to play good around a young quarterback or a quarterback who is still trying to find his way in the offense. They need to do that for Grayson James here on this 3rd down.
Blitz coming. An underneath throw. And now it's going to be 4th down. The hot route was there to Lewis Bond. Cale Sanders drove him back. And now BC in that 4th down gray area again. They're going to go for it, it looks like, on 4th and 4.
I mean, this is that situation where the kicking situation, this puts you like in a no-win situation. I mean, you have to go for it in this kind of deal to give yourself the best chance to try and score any kind of points. You just can't depend on the kicking game right now. And now it's up here to Grayson James to see if he can figure out a way to pick up this first. They know they're probably going to get man coverage, maybe some kind of pick route, some kind of mesh concepts over the middle.
Here comes the blitz. James, floater over the middle, incomplete. Flag out. Immediately Trayshawn Ward turned after he was held a bit by Alexander Kilgore, looking for the flag. It was thrown late from the sideline. And the SMU coaching staff can't believe it, but BC, it looks like, is going to get a 4th down conversion by penalty.
Pass interference. Defense, number 0. By rule of B, placed in the spot of foul. Automatic first down.
You're going to see it right here. It's just as plain as day. What happens, he's going to run what they call really a halfback angle route. He's going to come outside and then just kind of come back in, breaking on a 45-degree angle, and the defender just simply grabs him. You just can't do that. I don't know what the arguing is about in that situation. That's an easy call.
To correctly position the ball.
Well, they had the ball mispositioned. It's back to the 34-yard line. They've got to move the chains on the sideline as well, but BC gets a 4th down conversion. They run it with McDonald, lowers his shoulders. He picks up about 5. Kobe Wilson brings him down. Again, BC last week, 313 yards rushing against Syracuse. Kai Robichaux had 198 yards, and Jordan McDonald, who only had 5 carries on the season before last week, had 15 carries for 133 yards. So it was basically Bill O'Brien saying, here's a guy on scout team that's killing it. We're going to give him a chance to play. And boy, did he grab that opportunity with both hands. Takes advantage, and now he's out there getting meaningful snaps again this week.
And that's something that resonates with the players on Boston College. They see you get rewarded for consistent practice, doing the right kind of things off the field. Bill O'Brien will put you on the football field and let you try and produce.
Bill O'Brien not happy as he ran down the sideline to call that timeout. He brings his offense over. We'll step aside.
The $7 Lux Cravings box has...
And Lewis, right now, Penn State with a 14-0 lead against Purdue. Notre Dame up early against UVA by 7. And Alabama probably as expected against Mercer. Some nighttime action coming as well. Oregon in a dangerous spot always at Wisconsin. Second down here for Boston College against SMU. Play action for Grayson James. He's going to take a one-on-one shot. Underthrown at the goal line. It's incomplete. He was hoping for the third-string quarterback, John Montague. And Deuce Harmon in perfect position at the pylon almost picked it off.
See him, he's just going to run an outside release and just try and beat him on a go route and see if he can high point the football. But Grayson James has to give him a chance. He's got to lead him a little bit more on that. Deuce Harmon in perfect position, had him pinned to the sideline, was totally in control of that route the entire time. He's just annoyed he doesn't come up with the interception. But that's something that these corners for SMU, if there's a weakness on this defense, these guys have been beaten down the field. They haven't been always consistent in their one-on-one coverage.
Blitz off the edge. Incomplete for Kamari Morales. And now it's 4th down again for BC. And you'd have to think again, Lewis, they'll go for it, right? 4th down and 4 inside the 30-yard line, or 4th and 5.
Yeah, they're not even thinking about running the special teams unit onto the field. Here comes Robichaux into the game.
So the 10th play of the drive. They've only tried a couple of field goals this entire season.
I mean, that stat right there is stunning. 2 field goal attempts the entire season. An entire season, folks. They've tried to kick field goals twice.
That's out of a belief and an understanding they know they can't make them. 4-man rush. Morales makes the catch. Takes the hit. 4th down conversion at the 16-yard line. Ahmad Walker couldn't jar the ball free.
I mean, this is a nice route by Kamari Morales. Looks like he's going to go to the flag and then just pulls it up. They call that a 7-stop. It's a 7 route, which is a flag route, but he just stops it on a dime. And you see Kamari Morales, the transfer from North Carolina. This young man has 13 career touchdowns. He's tied for 2nd on the team in receptions this year. Nice big catch radius. Both him and Jeremiah Franklin, number 17. I have a feeling they're going to play a critical role in the passing game for Boston College today.
Robichaux spins down close to the 10-yard line. That's good yardage on 1st down. Kilgore tripped him up. A 6-yard gain on 1st down in the red zone.
How about our visit yesterday with Kai Robichaux? This guy's just an absolute stud. Just a big smile on his face. He loves the competition. He said they have nothing but confidence in Grayson James. And now that they're down here in the red area, Kai Robichaux running the football is going to be a primary form of attack for Boston College.
A keeper. James lowers his shoulder down to the 2-yard line. Some toughness shown there by Grayson James. He's got a 1st down. It is 1st and goal.
And Grayson James is 6'3", 226 pounds. And you see he tucks the football and he says, hey, look, I'm going to go ahead and take you on. And if you're a secondary player, whether you're Cale Sanders, Isaiah Wachovia, I think it was Cale Sanders on that particular play, you better be ready. This young man has shown that he can make good decisions in their zone read game down here on the goal line. He showed it against Western Kentucky, his first start of the season for Boston College earlier in the season. He can get this ball in with his legs.
Morales in motion. 1st and goal. Robichaux. Jump cut. Walks into the end zone for a BC touchdown. Boston College on the board, and they controlled the clock as well. And they're right back in it.
And just watch this cut out here, and watch Kai Robichaux on the perimeter at 217 pounds. Watch the feet right there, that left foot in the ground, and then just getting the ball in the end zone. This kid is a heck of a back. He is fantastic in pass protection. He gets tremendous yards after contact. He's just the ultimate type of competitor that Bill O'Brien is looking for to build this program. And there you see it. I mean, last week, Kai Robichaux was the ACC running back of the week. He just went off last week, and that's a nice start for him this week.
On a longing Fansville.
Ramon, what are you doing here?
I missed hating you, all right?
That's crazy talk.
You know what else is crazy? Getting off.
Season long, student sections across the country competing to be the Taco Bell Live Más student section of the year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more. So the visiting team, you can see, has the student section in their ear, start to finish. Has to be fun. And this returnable for Roderick Daniels from the 5. He's got a lane. He's got some speed with a flag down. To check the penalty marker as he's all the way out close to the 40-yard line before he got bumped out. A couple of flags thrown. And now we've got more flags thrown on the far side of the field. This could be 2 separate fouls in 2 separate spots.
There are 2 fouls in play, both by the receiving team. During the return, holding. Number 28, that penalty's declined. Holding. Number 54, that penalty enforced from the spot of the foul. It's first down.
2 holding calls. And unfortunate, because that means we held going to Matt Barry, and that's never right. Let's go back to Matt now.
Big game, Bob. You nailed it. Sitting here waiting to deliver the ACC audience this surprise out in the Bay Area. Stanford, Louisville, Ashton Daniels to Emmett Mosley the 5th, who is on his way for 6. Right now, it is Cardinal up 13-7 over Louisville.
Wow, Louisville, we have seen them look terrific at times this year as Boston College rallies right at the line of scrimmage as they are feeling a little momentum after holding SMU on their last possession to a field goal. And then Okpala with that last stop for BC. And then, really, I guess, Lewis, you'd have to say the textbook BC drive as they eat up clock and score a touchdown.
Yeah, just control the line of scrimmage, keep this offense off the field as you continue to get your quarterback settled in, which you started to see. I think the run down there on the goal line may be one of the best things that happens to him. He gets to feel his pads get settled, takes a little bit of a hit, and the running game's starting to get ramped up.
4-man rush. Jennings checked down. Shard Smith at the goal line. Spins out to the 10-yard line and gets spun down there. Bryce Steele wrapped him up. It's going to gain him about 3.5 yards to make it 3rd down and long at the 11.
You see so far this pass rush for Boston College, again, trying to rush with lane integrity. You saw that time, Donovan Ezeraku pushing the pocket from the outside in, making sure they're trying to keep Kevin Jennings inside, because this is the down where he can really get you with his legs and his ability to create.
Jennings finds a crosser in Daniels. Plenty of room. Catch and run. First down. Out to the 30. Omar Thornton, the freshman strong safety, bumped him out. But an easy catch and run first down and a gain of 19.
I mean, just a nice man beater for SMU in terms of getting a natural pick situation.
Jennings finds a hole shot. Again, it's Daniels. Boy, they go from inside their own 10-yard line to the BC 35 like lightning.
The explosive plays, the plus 20-yard plays, and that time just a little bit of deception on the part of Roderick Daniels. Looked like he was going to run a little bit of a stop route and then just took off down the field.
they'll run it with Brashard Smith. And he is into the arms of Davion Crouch. George Rooks helps on the tackle as well. A gain of 1 as we approach the midway point of the second quarter.
This team is at its maximum efficiency in my mind when it's going fast. When they slow it down and give teams a chance from a defensive perspective to get settled, it just doesn't work to their advantage. When they are going fast, it is hard to slow down this team.
Jennings outside the numbers. First down.
Just a beautiful throw on that out route to Moochie Dixon, number 5. He threw it on time, in rhythm. We were out here for practice yesterday, and that's exactly what it looked like. We saw one ball hit the ground yesterday, and these weren't 5-yard hitch routes he was throwing. They were pushing the ball down the field and going at warp pace.
Warp pace here, but he's chased. Nice spin move, though, by Jennings to extend the play. Gets a block. Flag down. Are they going to call that a blindside block? Wow. That is a really, really tough call if that's the way it goes against P.J. Williams, the right tackle.
I have it.
There is no foul in the play for an illegal
Exactly.
blindside block. It's second down.
I mean, PJ,
I think that's a good call to pick that flag up.
Absolutely. You clearly see him basically stop and just stand there and just try and shield and not take a nasty shot at Akpala, who was pursuing Kevin Jennings out on the perimeter. You knew that one was going to get picked up.
He basically did exactly what you're taught to do. Just get your body in the way.
That's right.
And not lay out a player that might be defenseless. That was a good job by the officials to pick that flag up. So it's 2nd and 10. Quarterback run here for Jennings. An ankle tackle after a gain of a couple by Ezaraku. So BC again with a chance on 3rd down in the red zone to hold to a field goal.
There you see the athleticism of Donovan Ezaraku, just playing laterally along the line of scrimmage, making sure he keeps contained on anything that would be hitting outside, and then just kind of layering back inside and picking up the tackle. Look, between him and Quintavious Hutchins, I mean, these two guys are guys you're going to hear their names called in the draft when their time comes, and they're going to play football at the next level. They are fantastic edge players.
SMU letting the clock wind down. It looks like a timeout will be called by Rhett Lashley.
First charge timeout, SMU.
A little over 6 minutes to go before halftime, and SMU uses their first timeout before a big 3rd down just inside the red zone.
Have you had enough?
Marty, it takes a lot of calories to be funny, which explains why you only eat salads.
Where's the bathroom so Steve knows where to be when the check comes?
Bathroom.
Unlimited 2% cash back. The Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card.
Everyone knows good things come in threes, like our eat, drink, and play combo for just $19.99. Maybe the saying should be good things come in 19.99s. Maybe not. The Dave & Buster's Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach! Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
He takes the handoff. It's a refurbished.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
While you were away, there were some developments. Lots and lots of developments. Fortunately, you live in a world where DoorDash can come to your rescue. Your door to a peaceful home. Your door to more. DoorDash.
I'll show you the ropes. Carolina in Chapel Hill. That's our primetime game on the ACC network. And again, the ACC standings. You've got SMU. Pathway to the ACC championship game in the college football playoff. Clemson comes from behind late against Pitt and stays alive. Miami also controls their destiny to get to the ACC title game. Jennings floats one end zone for Smith. Incomplete. Flag out on 3rd down. They take a shot to the end zone. And Davion Crouch had the back. And Brashard Smith draws a pass interference penalty.
Pass interference. Defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
The defensive coordinator Tim Lewis knew that his linebackers were going to get singled up one-on-one at some point. He couldn't protect them the entire game. And that time, Kevin Jennings knew exactly where to go with the football, as you see Crouch committing the pass interference on the underthrown ball to Brashard Smith. You could see that right from the get-go. Once the formation declared they had the one-on-one, it was going to be man coverage with the single safety. Kevin Jennings knew exactly where to go with the football. And now they got a fresh set of downs.
First and goal at the 4. Brashard Smith, touchdown. Made that look easy. And SMU a point after away from regaining their 10-point lead.
Officials timeout for an injured player.
The left tackle Savion Byrd injured on the play, although he's back up pretty quickly. And it looks like he's trying to walk it off.
Just watch the blocking at the point of attack right here. Watch them just cave down the left side of the Boston College defensive line. Just look at it. And from there, you see Brashard Smith with his jump cut ability. He thinks he wants to dip it outside and then comes right back inside. And again, the down blocks at the point of attack. You see tight end Matt Hibner, he actually gets a hit as well. And Brashard Smith just uses his natural run instincts, find the crease and get in the end zone.
So the Ponies have their 10-point lead back, and now we've got a quick word from Verbo.
Defenses so far have been stingy, and that really showed in the...
Done?
Look, if you want a house without a host, you should have booked a Verbo. Like I was saying, both teams have really good defenses, and it really showed in the second half.
Bob Wischusen and Louis Riddick, Chris Budden here in Dallas. So after BC held to a field goal on the last trip down for SMU, that time, Louis, they controlled field position as well after a holding penalty on the kickoff return, and it didn't matter for the Mustangs. They start at their own 8-yard line and go 92 yards for a touchdown that extends the lead 2 scores again.
Yeah, the explosive play component that SMU possesses, it's just as good as anyone's in the country. And if you're Boston College, you just cannot have any lapses in the secondary. You cannot turn people loose. You have to make sure, whether you're playing zone or man, to understand, where you're going to be threatened, what's the stress that it's going to put on you, and trying to limit some of these explosives, because if not, they are just going to ring up the scoreboard again like a slot machine.
And if they continue to do so, you would think the college football playoff awaits. An 8-1 record for SMU. Now their strength of schedule, 81st. You compare and contrast that with some teams that are ranked ahead of them, like Indiana, for example. They've got the 100th ranked strength of schedule. They're in the top 5. They've got wins against a couple of ranked teams in Pitt and Louisville. And still, our all-state playoff predictor after today puts them, even if they beat BC, with no better than a 43% chance to make the college football playoff.
That's why I think it's important, again, for this committee to actually get in the room and throw on the games and actually watch them. In retrospect, if they're not able to watch them all live, which is just impossible to watch them all, I would assume. But they're going to have to really kind of dig a little bit deeper to kind of figure out exactly what you've got here in this SMU football team in comparison to a team like Indiana. And really try to project in your mind, look, head-to-head, what do you think these two teams would look like if they played one another? Who would be favored in that kind of game? That would be an interesting discussion.
Boston College answer now. Game's on 2nd and 3. Stands tall in the pocket, finds a check down. And bobbling the football was Morales, a hat thrown as well, and a flag thrown from the secondary. Not sure if Morales went out of bounds and tried to come back in.
Illegal touching. Offense. Number 88 stepped out of bounds of his own. Returned in bounds. Was the first touch of the pass. Lost it down to the previous spot. 3rd down.
That'll make it 3rd down and 3. Let's go down to Chris.
You know, Rhett Lashley this week talked about not just the disrespect of his team, but the entire ACC. He hasn't really talked about it with his guys, but they know. They look at the kickoff times. They watch the ranking show. Kobe Wilson, linebacker, told us, it's okay. We understand it, but you can't climb to the top unless you start underneath.
That was a great line from Kobe Wilson.
Chris, you beat me to it using that line. Well done.
3rd down and 3. James able to create some space, a little jump pass to Jeremiah Franklin for a 3rd down conversion to keep the drive alive for Boston College.
And there you see why they love Grayson James. He threw that ball over top of his left tackle, Jude Barry, who goes 6'5". And just watch him here. Watch how he's able to just get that arm up over the top and just deliver a nice touch pass to Jeremiah Franklin. Boy, Bill O'Brien is not happy. But his quarterback is starting to settle in a little. They need him. They need him to produce some big plays down the field throwing the football.
They grind out a 2-yard run with McDonald. Garrett Harrison Hunt made the stop. Well, to Chris's point, this is only the 2nd time this year that SMU, as an undefeated Power 4 league team, and a team that has a straight trip to the college football playoff, you would think if they went out, has been on ESPN. And we had their other game earlier this year when they went into Louisville and won.
And they were well aware of that as well. And they understood the opportunity they had here to kind of showcase to a national audience what they're all about.
Grayson James on the down and out to Jordan McDonald. It looks like he's about 2 yards shy of a 1st down.
How about big Jordan McDonald? Again, just taking advantage of his opportunities. He earned it during practice. Now he's out here split out wide like a wide receiver, running a little stop route, catching the ball cleanly. Just being utilized in numerous different ways. And I love how Bill O'Brien is doing that with the program now. Guys who earn it in practice, guys who go to class, guys who do the right things, they get on the football field and they get opportunities. And that's exactly what you want as a player.
Robichaux takes the direct snap. It's an end around. And hit as he throws was James, and it wobbles incomplete. They tried the trick play on 3rd down and a couple. Cale Sanders, though, wasn't fooled that he hit James just as he was set to throw the deep ball.
Yeah, you see Cale Sanders come off the edge here as he just does a nice job of keeping his eyes ahead of the play, understands that this is going to be a double pass type of situation where Grayson James is going to take a shot down the field. Comes in and hits him just perfectly to affect the throw.
So 4th and 2, Lewis. Again, they are going to be aggressive, and they're going to go for it from midfield.
Just think of how stressful this is as a play caller. Constantly have to come up with something to pick up 1st downs on 4th down.
Play action. A floating pass. Drops it into the tight end. Jeremiah Franklin, did he hold on? It looks like he did. A flag down at the line of scrimmage.
I think they're going to get a legal formation on this play.
Offside. Defense, number 65. That penalty's decline. Resulted play. 1st down.
So they pick up 19 yards. Another 4th down conversion for BC.
Number 6.
That whole left side of Boston College's offensive line, I didn't think was up on the line of scrimmage, but nevertheless, you see the nice touch pass by Grayson James to Jeremiah Franklin off the play action. Jeremiah Franklin goes 6'3", 248 pounds. And again, these two tight ends between he and Kamari Morales, they're going to play a big role. They've done it already. They've done it all season.
That was the touchdown hookup last week that won them the game. Grayson James extending the play and throws it away. Jeremiah Franklin in the area. If you can run the ball effectively, play action to the tight ends can be lethal. And Jeremiah Franklin caught off of play action last week what turned out to be the game-winning touchdown when Grayson James came in place of Thomas Castellanos. He only threw 6 passes. He completed 5 of them. The only touchdown, he found Franklin, and that proved to be the game-winning score. Robichaux empties the backfield. There's the pressure, and stumbling and going down. And taking a big sack is Grayson James. Mike Lockhart will get the sack.
And just watch Mike Lockhart right here. Watch him hit the quick arm over. Look at this, is a beautiful pass rush inside. He just stutters the guard and is able to get the arm over and just get penetration on the pocket. That is exactly how you draw it up as an inside pass rusher in terms of using not just power, but using some finesse as well when you know you've got the athleticism advantage over your one-on-one matchup.
Now it's 3rd down and 20. 4-man rush. James floats one left sideline, and it's a 1st down hookup. Reed Harris inside the 10. 1st and goal, Boston College at the 9. A gain of 32 on 3rd down and 20.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
And there you see the out and up by Reed Harris. And you see that throw just laid in there perfectly by Grayson James. We said that he had touch and had some accuracy. Now he's settling in.
Okay, everybody got their Dos Equis playbooks? Good. It's only
a close shave against Arkansas, and it was the Travis Hunter Show today. A Heisman-like performance. Dan Mullen, Joey Galloway join me coming up on the Lexus Halftime Report.
Back here in Dallas, Boston College about to run their 22nd play this quarter, and it's a direct snap to Robichaux. And on 1st and goal, he gets inside the 5-yard line. Now SMU still has a couple of timeouts, Lewis. You wonder if they will use them to try and preserve some time for their offense. It looks like they will. There's a flag thrown from the end zone on that play. And it's against BC, so a timeout not having to be used here by SMU. This will back the Eagles up.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 65. 15-yard penalty, the down counts. It's 2nd down.
That costs Boston College.
SMU has elected for the clock to start on the snap.
That costs BC the snap as well. That's a big penalty because it came after the play was over.
I mean, you're going to see Logan Taylor. You see he's getting into it a little bit down the field with Cale Sanders and just kind of swings around, hits him with the elbow. I mean,
So now it's 2nd and goal, back to the 20-yard line. Grayson James finds Robichaux. Out of the 14. Ahmad Walker brought him down.
Again, you see the poise of Grayson James as SMU is trying to heat him up with some pressure, trying to get him to speed up a little bit and see if they can rattle him. But he does a nice job of just kind of backpedaling away from pressure in the pocket and then using that long frame and that long reach to just throw some touch passes with some good accuracy and continue to get positive yardage. Now here he is with a big 3rd down.
And SMU not using a timeout, so BC content to let the clock wind down. 1:08 to go in the half. Here comes an all-out blitz. There's a seam shot. Morales into the end zone for a BC touchdown. So from the 20-yard line to pay dirt in 2 snaps, and Boston College makes it a 1-score game again. Amari Morales with his 5th touchdown of the season. And another double-digit touchdown drive for the Eagles.
You're going to see when we break this down, it's just bad eye discipline on the part of the secondary for SMU. You're just going to see it here. You're going to see it's going to be a safety, Isaiah Wachovia. You're going to see him right here. Watch him come down into the line of scrimmage for no reason and take his eyes off of Kamari Morales. There is no play action fake. You don't really need to get down there that far into the run front. There's no threat of the run. And you just have to make sure that you play with some depth here, especially considering where the tight ends have been hitting you this entire first half. It has been a between the numbers type of passing game where both Morales and Jeremiah Franklin have been really providing Grayson James with some safety blankets and really some sense of comfort as far as where he can go with the football. And if you're defensive coordinator, Scott Simons, you're going to have to make sure you get with your defense, in particular secondary and the linebackers, and say, hey, look, we have to start coming down on these tight ends. That's where the passing game is going. That's where they're trying to hit us. Because right now, they are right in this football game.
I'm not sure what Boston College is doing here with a pooched kickoff. Roderick Daniels out across the 30-yard line to about the 33. That's pretty good field position for SMU with 2 timeouts and 57 seconds on the clock as we take a look at today's player spotlight, brought to you by Gillette. And look, we know that Kevin Jennings, he's a player of the year candidate in the ACC, but Grayson James is holding his own with 141 yards and a touchdown in the first half.
Yeah, and you're seeing the poise, right? I mean, you're seeing the same thing he showed us when he walked in the room last night. So it's really no surprise that he would continue to work at getting settled in, finding out who it was that he could depend on. And then as well, the coaching staff for Boston College trying to figure out exactly what he's comfortable with in this game type of environment here on the road.
Blitz off the edge. Jennings hit as he throws, floats it over the middle. It's intercepted. Picked off by Carter Davis. And he's down to the 30-yard line of SMU. Boston College brings a blitz. It creates the floating throw. And a late flag is thrown. This is probably going to give BC an extra 15 yards. On top of it, Savion Byrd is hurt again, the left tackle for the Ponies.
This is just a brilliant call on the part of defensive coordinator Tim Lewis, changing up the looks again. This brings a little bit of a pressure look. It's really just a 4-man rush, though. Play 3 deep behind
Multiple
it.
plays, an interception after the play. Personal foul, necessary roughness. SMU, number 53. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Wow. Boston College is going to have a timeout, 46 seconds, and they're going to start at the 15-yard line.
And just watch here. They're going to bring Khari Johnson, the nickel defender, off the wide side of the field. And this play cover 3 behind it. If Khari doesn't stop, he has a clean shot on Kevin Jennings. Nevertheless, he affects the throw. And you just see Carter Davis just playing middle of the field coverage on the overthrow. You just have to stand there and catch it. And you see 28 in the middle of the screen. Just reading the eyes of the quarterback. He sees the overthrow, just going high, point it, take it out of the air and secure it. But really, that whole play starts with the disguise as far as the pressure is concerned. It really isn't a pressure. It's still just a 4-man rush. But that's the different looks that Tim Lewis was talking about.
They set up the screen to Morales, and SMU was waiting for it. 38 seconds to go in the half. Now, BC's got 1 timeout left, so they're going to hurry up and get set at the line and preserve that 1 timeout. Grayson James set to go. Into the end zone, he gets picked. He wanted Morales at the pylon, and Isaiah Wacobia, redemption. A goal line interception for SMU.
Multiple plays, an interception down in the end zone for a touchback. First down, SMU.
Just watch Isaiah Wacobia right here in this cover 4 look. This quarters coverage, and you're going to see he's just playing inside leverage on the tight end, just protecting anything inside, any in-breaker, and then you just have to drive and try and slip this route underneath when it breaks outside. Protect the field inside out, drive on the ball on anything out-breaking, and you're going to see it here. You can see 23 right there on your screen. He plays it perfectly. The throw's a little bit late, a little bit behind, and as a safety, that's a dream scenario for you.
And now breaking into the open is Brashard Smith. And Boston College brings him down at the 35-yard line. Ashton McShane saved a touchdown. 14 seconds to go in the half. SMU still with 2 timeouts.
You can never go to a concession stand on this football team. You just can't. You can't go get yourself a hot dog, a Coke, nothing, because Brashard Smith will produce plays like this. Just when you think maybe the half is over, it's never over with this football team. They have playmakers everywhere, and that's what makes watching this team so fun.
And that is a bust for the BC defense with an injured player as well. Coming off of an interception, less than 30 seconds to go in the half, and you run the ball there, you're pretty much signaling we're just trying to get to the locker room at halftime, and all of a sudden you got a running back that busts into the secondary. Now everything changes for SMU with their 2 timeouts.
Except if you're SMU and you have Brashard Smith, you're going, hey, sometimes runs are just as good as passes for us.
True.
Because this young man, I mean, you see it right there. He's 0 to 60 in a blink of an eye like that. Like I said, you think the half is over as a viewer, whether you're here in the stands or you're watching the game here live. And next thing you know, this guy's just ripped off a big play.
Jennings to the sideline. Deshaun Smith steps out of bounds. 9 seconds to go in the half. Well, at the very least, field goal range. Will they take a shot at the end zone from the 24-yard line?
Second charge timeout, SMU.
And they'll talk things over. They still have 9 seconds, and they still have a timeout remaining as well. There have been a lot of momentum swings in this first half for a 17-14 game.
And here you see Kevin Jennings and just how he just has playmakers all over the football field. He doesn't always have to push it down the field. He can just give the ball to him on short passes and they can run with it. Kai Robichaux, you see just what kind of runner he has been all season long for Boston College. Brashard Smith again with the short touchdown run, and then the pass from Grayson James to Kamari Morales. These tight ends have played a big role. He was trying to hit Kamari again, maybe for a touchdown on that little flag route, that little corner route. But what a great defensive play by Isaiah Wacobia. And here we are knocking on the door again for SMU.
Brashard Smith empties the backfield. Jennings wants Smith, end zone, incomplete, threw it behind him. So now time for the field goal with 4 seconds to go in the half to see if they can extend their lead to a touchdown, and they will send Colin Rogers out.
He had the matchup that he wanted. He had Brashard Smith on Joe Marinaro, one of the backup linebackers, forced to start here today and play a big role. Just a little bit off. Otherwise, that looked like that could have been another great one-on-one matchup that would have resulted in a touchdown.
41-yard attempt for Rogers. Just sneaks it inside the upright. That's a big swing before halftime. Boston College had it at the 15-yard line with time to take shots at the end zone. And they end up turning it over.
Yeah, SMU lucky to get this off. As you see there, he had to kick the laces. Laces weren't out, man. As you see Colin Rogers going, hey, look, man, we got to be better than that. We got to be cleaner than that.
Pretty good job by Isaac Pearson to get the hold down. Rogers puts it through, and SMU has the 20-14 lead at the half. And Bill O'Brien is not happy. Time for the halftime report. Here's Matt Barry.
Bob, thank you. Finkel is Einhorn. Laces out. Let's go. That's a Ace Ventura quote, Joey.
Yeah, moving along.
It's the Lexus halftime report. It is Notre Dame. It is Virginia and Jeremiah Love for the first touchdown, 7-0 Irish.
Yeah, and it's early in the first quarter. UVA fumbled the opening kickoff to give Notre Dame that field position.
Speaking of fumbles, UVA moving it, trying to tie it, and Kobe Pace, 14 yards here, hard run, and then coughs it up at the end.
Virginia's turned the ball over 3 times in the first half.
You can't have it. They were doing a good job, and then here, Riley Leonard to Jaden Harrison. Notre Dame up 14-0.
Yeah, great job getting all the way through the progression to come back to the angle.
It is now 28-0 Irish. Just absolute beatdown going on. What about Louisville and Stanford? Tyler Shuck over the middle to Chris Bell to give the Cardinals an early lead in that. This is Cardinal versus Cardinal.
Yeah, Stanford was up big early.
They were 21-13 at the half. Clemson and Pitt. The game of the day, Cade Klubnik, Antonio Williams, Clemson up 7-0.
Was it the game of the day?
Well, finish-wise,
I mean, it was close.
Desmond Reed, 7-0 off tackle for 43 yards.
And Desmond Reed ran for 68, had another 108 receiving to do it all back for Pitt.
Yeah, he's a good little back out of the backfield. Then Daniel Carter punches, and then we're tied at 7.
Yeah, and it was close in the first half. A lot of penalties, though. It was crazy.
Penalties, injuries,
a lot of penalties.
Bad officiating, had a little bit of everything. And then Klubnik, a dart to Antonio Williams. Big game for him.
And some bad coverage right there as well.
Nate Yarnell got the to start for a bit, finds Gavin Bartholomew, ties it at 17.
Yarnell was 34 of 54 in this game.
When in doubt, better call Sauls. Ben Sauls punches it in, 47-yarder, 20-17. Clemson had 8 yards rushing going into this play. Cade Klubnik gets 50.
Yeah, they call the quarterback draw. Missed tackle, misfit by the safety. Klubnik runs it in, and Clemson gonna survive.
Look, it wasn't gonna get hung in a like the Louvre. It wasn't a Picasso, but it was good at the end.
It wasn't a Picasso.
It was entertaining.
It was downright tough to watch.
It was.
Sometimes ugly art's beautiful art.
You okay?
And that's what that was, and Clemson survives and maintains their position to maybe play for an ACC championship.
Well, most importantly, ugly win, but they do get the win, maintain that. They have to figure out running the football. They had 6 sacks on the day, found a way to get after the quarterback. I'm sorry, it was 8 sacks in the end. On the day, they got after the quarterback. They played defense. They found a way to win, even though, as you said, they could not run the ball at all against that Pitt defense.
Clemson needs Miami to lose a game. They would need SMU to lose twice, and then they would have to win out to be in the ACC championship game. On this side of it, SMU still perfect in conference play. Key turnover at the end. They're doing just enough against a pesky BC team.
It's interesting. SMU gets the ball back. They squib kick it. They get it back. And a lot of times you see coaches take a knee. And we're always screaming, yeah, try to score. They throw an interception.
Yeah.
And then BC has the ball at the 15. Now, it's 17-13. If BC can tie it or take the lead going into the half, we got a whole different ball game. The SMU defense steps up, gets an interception. They go back down, kick the field goal. SMU has to beat Virginia and Cal if they win this game to go undefeated in the ACC and get to the ACC championship.
You talk about the standings in this division, or in this conference rather. It's going to be tight going down to the stretch. You're here every Tuesday. What are they people saying about SMU?
The people aren't saying much about SMU. It's interesting. They're at number 14 though. People don't have to say much. All they got to do is win out and they'll be fine.
Look, and what we've seen out of the rest of the ACC, this thing's winnable for SMU.
Well, and their only loss is to an undefeated BYU team in a close game. So, it's going to be interesting.
Look, but I'm with Joey. Like, say what you want now. They're going to be able to control the narrative. Just get out and win starting in the second half today. Still ahead, Lexus halftime report. Could it have sewn up the Heisman for Travis Hunter today? Highlights coming up next.
This halftime report is presented by Lexus. Experience amazing.
Don't stop, rock like tick-tock.
Want to shop Walmart?
Missouri and South Carolina. Missouri trying to cling on to some playoff hopes with just 2 losses. Brady Cook banged up, but playing today. Theo Weiss, 23-yard game.
And it's good to see Brady Cook playing in this game. He started 6 of 8.
Drew Pine out with an illness. Here comes Lenora Sellers. Watch this dime to Josh Simon.
Yeah, they'll runs the spot route. You see the confusion in the secondary by Missouri, but South Carolina is one of the hottest teams in the country.
I actually gave him too much credit for that throw. This is the throw that's the dime to Nick Harvey, the freshman.
I was wondering.
Yeah, this is it. Dime.
Really? That wasn't great coverage.
It wasn't good either.
You guys are hard to please.
You let us down.
Hard
We're
to
trying
please.
to be positive.
Dime.
LSU, trying to be week 12. Worst
This
off.
is a dime under
Garrett
pressure.
Nussmeier to Aaron Ant. That's a dime. He was also open.
He was covered. Your guy didn't have a defender on the screen.
He's
both
hit on the
both
throw.
tight spirals. That game tied at 10. Texas and Arkansas. We talked about this last week on College Football Final, how Arkansas is going to be a tough out. Here are Ewers to Matthew Golden up 7-0.
Yeah, and the fast start. Texas needs to impress because people are wondering where their big win is this year.
So Jaquindon Jackson takes it now 13-7.
Yeah, Vandy is their big win this year, which isn't that big. And that's where a lot of eyes are on Texas to see if they can finish this season the right way.
Yeah, Matthew Golden covered, catches it up 20-10. And look.
See, that's a dime.
Now that's a dime.
There, that's
see?
a dime.
Now you're starting to be positive like me. And then
the defense is what carried them. 6 sacks by Texas in this game.
Do you know Texas had a 2-game losing streak to Arkansas? Not anymore. First time they met in conference since 1991. Alabama and Mercer. Robbie Oots.
Oots has never been that open. Big 45, wide open down the middle.
You guys
I'm guessing his season stats are 1 catch for a touchdown.
You guys are trying to sell me on Mercer's
I
defense.
thought the snapper.
He might have been. Stat day for Alabama. Never a stat day for Isaac Wilson and the Utah offense. They've been struggling. Look at Travis Hunter.
The ball's right there. Great job tipping it up at Travis Hunter. Obviously in the right place at the right time.
All right, so keep that in mind. There's the interception. 14-6. Now Shador to Hunter, the catch.
Great catch, but again, you have to pressure Shedeur Sanders, or if he stands in the pocket, much like Cam Ward, he's going to hurt you.
They were trying to get him a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
But Hunter's just better than everyone on the field.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No! That's why he's the best athlete on the field every single game.
Colorado snaps a 7-game losing streak to Utah. Hunter continues to pack the stats for the Heisman. His interception today became the third player since at least 1900 with 3 interceptions, 5 receiving touchdowns in a single year. The other, Champ Bailey. College football.
And Drew Aller was 13 of 14 so far in this game. And talk about teams that just have to win out and they'll be fine for the playoff. Penn State's one of them.
We'll discuss them later. Will Howard and Ohio State taking on Northwestern at Wrigley Field. Buckeyes 19-1, now 20-1 at baseball fields.
Yeah, and Carnell Tate right there, he had both of Ohio State's touchdown receptions today.
So they have Indiana next week, and Indiana has game day at Ohio State, the big one of the Big Ten, Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Columbus, home game for Galloway.
This is the Google Pixel 9, and
amazing.
American Conference Championship game is set after Tulane laid the thwack to Navy.
Navy's offense struggled in this game, just 118 total yards.
So it'll be Tulane and Army playing for the American.
Should be exciting. Army's got Notre Dame next week. That's going to be a fun
playoff on the line. Quick question, is Jennings going to get a second half touchdown pass?
Yeah, absolutely. They need to keep winging the ball around if you're SMU.
Joey?
Sure.
Okay, that's it. Lexus.
You know it starts with a piece. Give it time, let it be instead of
third quarter here in Dallas. SMU undefeated in ACC play and the favorite to get to the ACC championship game, but they're struggling a bit with Boston College as the Eagles keeping this a one-score game and a lot of momentum changes in the first half. Even in the last minute of the first half, BC starts the third quarter with the football. Aiden McGowan eager to receive the second half kickoff. Instead, this is going to float down and be taken by Montague. And he's not going to get much. Stopped at about the 17-yard line. Bob Wischusen and Lewis Riddick, Chris Budden here at Ford Stadium. Quarterback was drama for Boston College coming in. Obviously, they've got a star at quarterback for SMU, and yet almost a draw in the first half in terms of quarterback play.
Yeah, sure. We're going to get to see Grayson James here first to start the second half. But look, Kevin Jennings from SMU is as advertised, right? You see all the off-schedule plays. You see that he can win from the pocket. You see he can just win with his feet when it's quarterback design run. But Grayson James, look, if you're a Boston College fan and you're a Boston College alum, there's a lot to be optimistic about as far as how this young man has really settled in and why Bill O'Brien was excited to get him on the field.
Got the long fields to run here, and they will start it on a dive ahead. Robichaud got about 5 as we check in with Chris.
Rhett Lashley.
Our sideline report presented by Chili's.
The key to the second half for Rhett Lashley is third down, both offensively and defensively. He said, we got to stay ahead of the chains. We're finding ourselves in too many third and longs and making it too difficult for us on offense. He said, defensively, we're allowing too many third and fourth down conversions. Quick injury update for Boston College. They're going to be without 2 of their corners, Max Tucker and Bryce Brown, who got injured in the first quarter.
Well, Lewis, the impact that could have on this game.
That's huge, especially considering how explosive SMU's passing attack can be on the perimeter.
James to throw. Dancing in the pocket. Avoids a sack and throws this one away. So BC will have a third down to try and keep this opening drive alive here in the third quarter. But as we said, also Finn at linebacker for Boston College defensively, and now Finn at corner as well.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder what Tim Lewis, the defensive coordinator, will do as far as how much man coverage does he really want to allow these guys to play. Because as explosive as SMU is on the outside and the kind of speed that they have, I mean, you're asking for trouble. And so does he go to a little bit more of a zone scheme? We'll wind up seeing that when they get back out here on the field. But here you got Grayson James. In another third down situation, Rhett Lashley says to get off the field. Let's see what SMU can do.
Another third down conversion for Boston College, and a good job by Grayson James. You could see him go through his progressions to find Reed Harris.
That is a beautiful throw. A beautiful throw on the in cut to Reed Harris, who is someone that Bill O'Brien talked to us about way back in September when we did Boston College against Florida State. Just watch him run this speed dig. You see it right there. When I say speed, he just kind of rolls the cut where he can carry his speed and his momentum in the middle of the field. And we started off this broadcast saying Grayson James likes to throw the in breakers. There you see it.
A little toss to the outside. Jordan McDonald with some speed. He's to midfield. But boy, that last throw, Lewis, isn't that the exact type of throw that you said Grayson James can be special at?
That's right. Those end breakers, those intermediate 15 to 18-yard dig routes, when he throws it on time and in rhythm, you see him there just going through progressions. He looks left, comes back right. Receiver can catch and run. Nice soft catchable ball. One of the things you notice with his passes, he doesn't try and throw it through the receiver. He throws it with a lot of nice touch, layering it over the second level, over linebackers. This kid has a bright future.
Dive ahead. Jordan McDonald scoots for about 3.5.
There you see the strength of this Boston College team, the offensive line, the tight ends, Jeremiah Franklin, just running these power plays, down blocks on the front side, pull a guard, bring another tight end or H-back around with it, and then just get the ball downhill to 227-pound Jordan McDonald. Eat up some clock. Here you see the play clock down to 14, 13 seconds now, and if you're SMU, you need to get off the field. Run defense has been something you've been strong at. You got to answer the bell.
Take the toss. That gives James time. He's got another wide open receiver, and again, it's Reed Harris. Another first down for BC to the 27 of SMU.
It's the play action. It's this fake pick action out there to Jordan McDonald that you see distorts the second level defenders. It opens up some throwing windows. If you're Will Long right now, you kind of got a good feel for what this young man, Grayson James, feels comfortable with, and really what is opening up as far as play calling against this SMU defense. And right now, they got him on their heels a bit.
Another 19-yard hookup. And there goes Harris in motion. Counter handoff instead to Trayshawn Ward. He's got 8 yards. Maybe closer to 7 to the 20-yard line. Kobe Wilson. Isaiah Wakobi sandwich him there, but it's going to be 2nd down and 3.
It's the different motions and ball handling in the backfield that really has the second level defenders for SMU unsettled right now. They don't know if Grayson James is going to pull it and get on the edge and throw it. They don't know if he's going to hand it off. And it's really kind of like making them kind of doubt their reads. And you have to give credit to Will Long, the offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien. They found a nice rhythm as far as their play call.
They bunch the receivers. Quarterback keeper for James. He makes a move to the pylon. Touchdown. Boston College a point after away from the lead.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about as far as the ball handling is concerned. Watch, pull the guard, show the ball right here, and then pull it. And watch this defensive end chase down inside. And what does he do? Grayson James just pulls it. I mean, this is exactly what he showed against Western Kentucky earlier in the season, the ability to make good decisions as far as when to hand it, when to pull it. And he's got enough athletic ability to get you good positive yardage running the football.
BC has the lead with 10:45 to go in the 3rd quarter.
If you're a Boston College fan, I mean, how can you not right now be going, man, why wasn't this guy playing all season long? They have something here in young Grayson James.
Looking for a reason to try the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's? Here's 1, 2.
Caps it for Grayson James. So he's got touchdowns now through the air and on the ground, both, as he has been a difference maker. And Chris, he is obviously a local product, as is Kevin Jennings.
They are, and these two quarterbacks know each other pretty well. Kevin Jennings playing at South Oak Cliff growing up. Grayson James playing about 15 miles down the road. Duncanville High School. They played each other in 2020 in Duncanville where Grayson James played, got the dub, 41-3. They've stayed in touch. They actually both trained this past summer at the same facility, and both have a lot of family and friends in the stands today.
We met with Grayson James yesterday. He didn't remember the score, but he remembered that he got Jennings when they played head-to-head. Jennings with a floater out of bounds on first down, with BC now on top by a point. He was hoping there for Roderick Daniels. I think Grayson James said he didn't remember the score, but he said, yeah, I remember, though, we took care of business when we played them back in high school.
You see Boston College again firing these linebackers downhill, sending 5 or more often, still going with man coverage despite being outmanned, or rather having some guys who have been injured on the corner.
Knocking tacklers. There's Moochie Dixon, and he's got enough for a first down, the gain of 12.
The availability of the guys on the perimeter, the corners for Boston College, is going to be something to keep an eye on as this game goes on, given that they've lost Max Tucker and Brykees Brown in this game.
Play action for Jennings. Well protected. He's got a one-on-one shot to take again. It floats a bit, and it's incomplete. Ryan Turner backing up Max Tucker, gets the pass defensed on Keyshawn Smith.
I mean, this is just a nice job of Ryan Turner, just playing with depth, keeping an eye on the football, not panicking down the field, trying to stay high shoulder, and then undercutting the football with the offhand, stabbing at the football, not swinging at it, gives you a better chance to make contact with it. Textbook defensive back play.
Second and long, and they're going to run it. Rashard Smith down the sideline. Stays in bounds, spins to the BC 40. Joe Marinaro brings him down. But again, an impact run for Rashard Smith.
And there you see this offense for SMU just working in unison. That was a nice block by Moochie Dixon on the perimeter. Nice crack block to spring Rashard Smith out there on the perimeter for the big explosive run.
Another handoff. And that is good for a yard for Smith, and that will give him 100 on the day. Davius Hutchins drives him back. Looks like they're actually going to give him 2, so 101 yards rushing for Rashard Smith.
What more can you say about this young man? His story is just absolutely fascinating. He's a former wide receiver. Brett Lashley said, hey, look, I don't have a wide receiver spot for you, but I do have a running back spot for you. Would you be interested in converting and becoming that kind of guy, an Alvin Kamara type of running back? And he is taken to that role.
And striving into the end zone. Jennings with the hook up to Jordan Hudson for the much-needed touchdown. An SMU answer, and they've got the lead back. 38 yards.
And he just beats the freshman Ashton McShane off the line of scrimmage. Watch, he just stutters him inside, sets him up, gets him to settle his feet, and then he just outruns him. I mean, that's just one guy being faster than the other. And if you watch SMU football this year, you know Jordan Hudson can absolutely fly. He's got great acceleration, great body control in his route running. And his straight line speed is second to none. Here they are going for 2.
So the Ponies try and stretch this lead to 7. They run it with Smith. He dives. He moves the pile. And it is a 7-point lead. 28-21 SMU.
I talked about the fact that this secondary for Boston College is going to be tested, considering the fact that they are down a couple guys. And SMU said, hey, you know what? We recognize the same thing. So, you know, we're going to test them down the field. One-on-one. You want to play man coverage? This is what we're going to try and do. And Rashard Smith, there's nothing left to be said about this young man.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, Always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Black Friday football on Prime is back. An old school rivalry for a new game day.
Touchdown! I'm here all day!
The Raiders.
And it's intercepted!
The Chiefs.
All the way for the touchdown!
Friday, November 29th.
We got a game, boys!
Black Friday football. Kickoff at 3 p.m. Eastern. Pre-game at 1:30 p.m. Only on...
And what becomes an SMU touchdown lead again. After they go 75 yards in a minute 53 seconds. A Jordan Hudson 38-yard touchdown reception, and then the two-point conversion. It'll be on BC to answer. And Montague on the kickoff return again gets planted about the 23-yard line. Well, UFC 309 is tonight. The main card begins at 10 Eastern on pay-per-view, with the prelims at 8 Eastern on ESPN News and ESPN Plus. To order the main card in English and Spanish, go to espnplus.com/PPV.
Just look at that graphic right there on your screen. Last 4 drives, 35 plays, 233 yards. And if you're Bill O'Brien, he said you have a lot to work with here with Grayson James and offensive coordinator Will Long. They have found a rhythm. Let's just see if defensive coordinator Scott Simons from SMU can calm down his secondary and his linebacker level, play with better eyes.
Robichaux. After James checks to that running play, at least Lewis had seen. Isn't that a subtle part of playing quarterback, checking to the right run? And it seemed like Grayson James did just that.
Yeah, maybe checking to the right run, going from pass to run. If the look looks favorable, if it's a light box, maybe 2 safeties deep, and you think it's better instead of throwing into heavy coverage. Look, this young man was not shy about, you know, his self-belief in terms of his ability to really direct this offense, and it's showing.
A little throwback screen that gets knocked down, almost intercepted. He tried to use his height to get over the pass rush, and they had the screen set up behind that pass rush.
He sure did. He's just trying to run the halfback screen here to Kai Robichaux. And it's just a nice job there by Jonathan Jefferson, 94, of getting up in the air, presenting an obstacle for him to complete that. Otherwise, that would have been out the gate down the sideline.
You know, I saw the blockers, but I didn't see Robichaux on the deck.
He was hiding in there. He had slipped down, or he had got tripped up.
He was down on the deck, so that was destined to fail. 3rd down and 4. Prosser, incomplete. Short hopped it for Lewis Bond. So SMU's defense is able to get the 3 and out. And they're about to get the ball back with the lead.
This is good pass rush on the interior. Jared Harrison Hunt getting good push right in Grayson James' face. Harrison Hunt goes about 6'4", 295 pounds.
And here Lewis is a 4th down that BC can't go for inside their own 30-yard line. Can Liam Connor do anything to change field position? Can they get a punt off?
You just have no idea what this is going to look like.
That's kind of a rugby-style kick, and it's going to bounce. Fielded by Roderick Daniels. And Boston College is able to get him down at the 38-yard line of SMU, midway through the 3rd quarter.
UFC 309. Fight on espnplus.com/PPV.
With investing options from Navy Federal Credit Union, Rob feels financially at ease, which means he can worry about other things like landing this fish. What if the fish is really big? What if it's not a fish? What if it's treasure? What if the treasure is cursed? Rob has a lot of things to worry about, but as a member of Navy Federal, his finances aren't one of them. Become a member today. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the...
He's back on the stage where we belong, and we're going to be here for a long time.
Bob Bob Wischusen and Louis Riddick, Chris Budden watching Kevin Jennings go back to work for SMU at their own 38-yard line with the lead. They'll start on the ground here with Brashard Smith. And he starts this drive off with about an 8-yard run. And Louis, you said this to the players we met with yesterday, that SMU being a legit power conference football threat brings you back to your youth.
It sure does. Look, I remember the days, the early 80s of Eric Dickerson, Craig James, Lance McElhaney. I mean, this football program was an absolute powerhouse. And even beyond those years, they had guys like Wes Hopkins, Russell Carter, Jerry Ball. They have some fantastic players in their history. And now they're trying to reestablish that under Rhett Lashley. And they're a fun team to watch because of throws like that.
Sings one to the sideline and not going out of bounds. Lowering his shoulders and fighting for extra yardage is Hudson.
And you see, they have identified the fact that, again, we've said it a couple times now, that Boston College is shorthanded on the corner, on the edges of their pass defense.
Official's timeout for an injured player.
Ezaraku down on one knee. And the crowd, if they're reacting with any kind of skepticism, don't, because that is the last player that BC wants off the field.
It sure is. And you see Donovan Ezaraku there checking out that right shoulder. He was trying to jog back to the huddle and then just stopped and took a knee. I would never question that young man's intestinal fortitude or toughness. He's as good as it comes. We loved talking to him. The great smile on his face. He's worked so hard this offseason to get himself to this point, and right now he's one of the most dangerous pass rushers in college football.
Take a look at number 6. Jammed that shoulder.
Yeah, you see how it got overextended. That's how you can like pop your shoulder out. When your arm gets extended like that and all your weight comes down on it. That's a legit situation right there.
Let's check in with Chris.
Ezaraku has been moving himself up draft boards, but it didn't start that way this summer. His family sent him a photo of the defensive ends mock drafts for this next draft, and he wasn't even in the top 10. So he took a picture of it and he put it on his screensaver on his phone. And it's what he looks at every day. He said, I want to be motivated. I want to remind myself what people thought of me before the season. I said, don't you want to change it? Like, you've moved up. He's like, no. I want to know what they thought of me then.
Yeah, he's on that board now. Here's a little throw out to the bubble. And getting wrapped up and thrown down is Keyshawn Smith. Modest gain. Kareem Johnson able to make the tackle for Boston College.
You think Tim Lewis, the defensive coordinator for Boston College, would back off and to kind of call off the dogs a little bit as far as pressure and putting these corners in one-on-one situations? Nope. He's continuing to get after this quarterback.
Jennings again finds Hudson. Ashton McShane fights his way back on the field, and the true freshman is able to make the stop. So Boston College able to get one of their corners back. But again, Bryce Brown was hurt. Shane got knocked out at one point. Max Tucker was lost in the first half. There's Shane to help stop Brashard Smith, but it's another first down for SMU. And don't forget, Amari Jackson, who was a starter at corner, tore his ACL against Virginia earlier this season. And now Bryce Steele is hurt. He's down on one knee. One of the linebackers that's playing from a depth standpoint because they're without Cam Arnold and Owen McGowan. So this is now a mash unit for BC on defense. So Bryce Steele, who won a battle with cancer, was out last year and has now walked off the field. An inspirational story in his own right. Well, the crew from College Game Day is headed to Columbus for the matchup of the Big Ten between Indiana and Ohio State. Again, 9 a.m. Eastern, College Game Day built by the Home Depot in Columbus. Next Saturday morning on ESPN. That's going to be some scene. Talk about the litmus test of all time for Indiana.
That's what people want to see, right? They want to see them play a quality, high-quality opponent, see how they stack up. There it is.
Submarining down close to the 15-yard line is Smith. Or check that, L.J. Johnson. AP Price made the stop.
see, this has been a little bit of a long, grinding drive for SMU. Going back to their bread and butter a bit as far as the spread power run game. Sprinkling in the passes on the outside.
Jennings slides. Chased down by Edwin Kalenge. That brings the pass rusher that could change the game for BC back in as Donovan Ezaraku gets back on the field for third down. That changes everything, doesn't it, Lewis, for Tim Lewis?
It sure does. It sure does. Look, Ezaraku, he's the guy. Now he's going up, gets a backup tackle over there on the left side. And this is where Donovan Rushes does some of his best work.
Quarterback draw. Jennings, nowhere to go. BC bottles him up, and they get him down at the 20-yard line. 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter, and that will bring the field goal group back out for SMU. And again, that's a win for BC on defense. That's a 6-yard loss.
That's great play by the corner, freshman Ashton McShane out on the edge. Again, keeping his eyes out in front, understanding that he is the primary force guy on the edge in that cover 2 look that they were playing in. Great team defense on the part of Boston College. Force a field goal.
All-time leading scorer in SMU history. Out again to add to his total. Colin Rogers able to knock it through. So basically back to where we started. This game was 10-0 SMU in the first quarter. And now with 19 minutes to go, it's a 10-point lead for SMU once again. Our All-State playoff predictor, again to remind you, not only how important this game is and every game the rest of the way for SMU, but again, we've been talking about this, Lewis, how much our playoff predictor at least is reacting to the college football committee's standings. How little respect SMU is getting. Only a 40% chance to reach the 12-team playoff for a team that's undefeated in league play and controls their own destiny.
Yeah, again, I mean, it's going to be a discussion for the rest of this season as far as what do people really think of SMU, and you would find that out if they were to stumble, you know, in the ACC championship game, provided they got there and then they lost, whether or not they would not make the college football playoff. And I think all those things probably are on the mind of Rhett Lashley and this SMU football program, and I expect them to go ahead and put the gas pedal to the floor here in this second half and really try to put on an impressive performance.
Montague is spun down at the 15-yard line. Ahmad Moses with a terrific special teams tackle. Well, again, the brand new 12-team college football playoff. 5 highest-ranked conference champions receive automatic bids, and the 4 seeds that receive byes are the 4 highest-ranked conference champions. Once you determine who those 4 are, as they explained on College Game Day today, you basically start filling in seeds after that. But the 7 at-large teams determined remaining come from those highest-ranked teams. As Trayshawn Ward's the lone setback, and he takes the handoff, and he finds a cutback lane. He's got a first down. And those first-round games are going to be so much fun, played on the home campuses of the higher-ranked teams in the opening round. That's going to be a blast.
Yeah, let's think of some of the matchups you can potentially get in that kind of scenario. It's just going to be out of this world as far as the pageantry, the excitement of the student body, the fans overall, and for these players most importantly. What a great atmosphere. They deserve it. They deserve it after a long, hard year to get to the college football playoff. There's your reward.
Another handoff to Jordan McDonald. Good balance all the way to midfield before he's brought down. Brandon Crossley helps trip him up. But Boston College in business.
Watch center Drew Kendall get out here on this perimeter and just kind of get a seal back block. Just watch this. Bill O'Brien talks about this offensive line. Just look how he then turns back on the linebacker. Just gets enough on Alexander Kilgore to spring this run for Jordan McDonald. This offensive line, the same group of 5 have started every game all season long in the same positions. One of only a handful of FBS teams to do that. I mean, it's the kind of thing you would dream of, to have your group of 5 guys up front to play every down, or rather start every game.
Robichuk thrown down, but not before he picks up 6. Corey Roberson with the stop, but it'll be 2nd down and 4, and that continues to allow BC to take time off the clock and shorten this game as they will seek to again make this a one-score game.
Sure are. Look, obviously you have to convert once you get down here in the scoring territory. You have to get 6 instead of 3, but they're playing it exactly the way they want to play it. Win the line of scrimmage, emphasize the run game, play action passing game. You know a shot's coming here soon. They're going to push the ball down the field.
Robichaux. His face mask may have been grabbed. Looked like it was. No flag comes out. He's a yard shy of the first down. Third down and 1.
And that offensive line is starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm here. Do they lean on it? Do they run some kind of play action? Get Grayson James throwing the football?
They're going to run for it, and they will pick it up. And Roberson the stop. BC grinds out another first down on the ground, and Robichaux heads back to the sideline. Trayshawn Ward comes back in, so been an effective carousel of 3 running backs today for Bill O'Brien.
It sure has, and on this drive, 11 rushes, 4 passes. They're leaning on the strength of this football team. Now they bring in Trayshawn Ward. Typically, he's a guy who they like to try and get the football out of the backfield, too, in the pass game. You're in that part of the field where you can do that.
Trayshawn Ward makes a man miss in the backfield, picks up a yard, but it could have been a tackle for loss. As Jonathan Jefferson just about blew that play up behind the line of scrimmage. And that may take us to the end of the third quarter. We'll see if BC lets the clock wrap all the way down. They do not have to run another play. They could try a hard count as Grayson James just looks over, and they're going to let the clock wind all the way down and end the third quarter. So we will head to the fourth quarter with Boston College driving down by 10. Rhett Lashley's team with a 10-point lead. That's the end of the third quarter as we take a quick timeout with DoorDash.
While you were away, there were some developments.
Hard. We got to go find a way to do it.
What's been the challenge in getting this BC offense off the field?
Yeah, we're not getting off the field on third down. The second half, we've let them run the ball on us a little bit. So they're kind of controlling the tempo. They're staying ahead of the sticks. They've done a good job of converting third downs. But we'll find a way to bow up and stop them. Thanks, Chris.
Well, BC starts the fourth quarter. 2nd down and 9. Tough catch in traffic. Jeremiah Franklin reaches up, pulls it in, and gets a little push within about 2 yards of a first down. That was Chris Budden down on the field with Brett Lashley, Bob Wischusen, and Louis Riddick in the booth. And we may have an injured Mustang or 2 before 3rd down and short for BC. And boy, Jeremiah Franklin, that was a tough catch. Garrett Harrison Hunt looks like is the injured SMU defender. So we'll step aside. Injury timeout on the field. That's Jalen Davis Robinson who's down.
TJ. JJ.
Lateral races. Brutal.
TJ.
It's time to play offense. Turn it out. Whoa, let's cool it, you two.
Mom.
As your host, I have some rules. 2 flush maximum per bathroom visit. No games, no fun. There's a great barbecue outside, but don't touch that.
Meanwhile, at a Vrbo, when other vacation rentals make you share your turf with a host, try...
Scored by a combined 46-0 in the fourth quarter. Well, they're now trying to come from behind in the fourth quarter against SMU. They've got a big 3rd down here, though. Grayson James rolling out. James in trouble. And Lewis, now it's 4th down.
Well, I think we know what's going to happen here. There's obviously no question as to what they're going to try to do there. Nice job by Cameron Robinson of putting pressure on Grayson James. He didn't quite handle the snap. Well, yeah, he did. He handled it cleanly, but really Cameron Robinson just got pressure on him right away. You got to look for some one-on-ones here on the outside. Just look to Reed Harris, number 4, at the top of the screen in the slot.
Empty backfield.
You see the miscommunication right now.
Dropped. Trayshawn Ward. It was a low throw. He needed to scoop it up. He could not. And BC turns it over on downs. And SMU's got it back.
And Bob, they had what they wanted. They had the one-on-ones at the top of the screen. They had Trayshawn Ward and Reed Harris one-on-one. You see Reed Harris release first, and then Trayshawn Ward just come in and then just circle back out. And Grayson just didn't put enough on the throw. He had him one-on-one against Ahmad Walker, the linebacker. That's an easy pickup. That's got to be an easy throw and catch. Clean pocket, had a good look at it to step into the throw and put it on him. That's an unfortunate miss for Boston College.
Kevin Jennings, a lot of pre-snap motion as L.J. Johnson to his right in the backfield. Instead, it's a jet sweep to Roderick Daniels. Turns the corner and gets across the 40. Here a 1st down. He picks up 9. It'll be 2nd and 1.
You see that speed. You see how fast Roderick Daniels got around that corner. When he got the ball in his hands, he was up to full speed, top speed. He's just able to outrun pursuit angles as easy as anyone.
And a 1st down carry for L.J. Johnson Jr.
Now you see just what really SMU is offensively. They're not just a chuck it down the field team. We've talked about this as well. They can run the football with authority inside. There's an example.
To midfield goes Johnson.
That inside zone running game. Or they can run it with a little bit of a gap scheme. They pull the backside tackle there, block down on the front side. They run the inside zone as well. Very diverse in the way they can attack you with the run game. Change the picture on you. They have a couple staple plays they like to go to in the run game, as well as their passing concepts as well. Limited number of concepts, multiple picture changes, make it look different. That's what they specialize in.
It's a little bit of a revenge game as well for SMU. They are 17-2 in their last 19 games. One of those 2 losses, with a little pushing and shoving after the play is over, was last year in the Fenway Bowl when SMU was still part of the American Conference, and they lost to Thomas Castellanos. 156 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, and BC beat SMU 23-14 in the bowl game. So they haven't lost much, but one of their 2 losses these last couple of years was to Boston College. Now they've got a chance to maybe put them away on this drive. 3rd down. Quarterback run. Jennings bobbing and weaving, and he comes up short. Now it's going to be 4th down. Quintavious Hutchins brings him down. Late flags pop out. This is going to be a possible game-changing call, because this is a 4th down and gettable for SMU. Or did Boston College possibly give SMU a free 1st down? As the officials have to sort this out. This is a huge call.
You see Rhett Lashley walking out on the field. He is upset, yelling at the referees. There's a lot going on after the play.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 8. 15-yard penalty, the down counts, it's 4th down.
So they get Jordan Hudson, and that takes the decision away from Rhett Lashley. You can't go for it now. So now Boston College will get the ball back with a lot of time. Still down by 10.
I'm sitting here watching this game, and I'm watching him leaving a guy like Logan Parr trying to bait Boston College into the personal foul penalty. And I'm sitting there thinking they're just getting sloppy here. You just got to make sure. You just can't do that. You can't do that if you're Jordan Hudson. You can't punch a defender in the back of the head and expect to get away with it. I don't know what was going on underneath the pile there.
Pearson punts for the first time. A return for Farris. The crowd was hoping a flag would come out. Farris got to the sideline. It looked like he may have been out of bounds. The BC sideline was thinking they might get a flag for a late hit out of bounds. And there are no flags at either end of the field. We got both sidelines simultaneously complaining.
Farris was still in bounds. That wasn't a late hit. But I tell you what, this game is getting chippy, and they better keep their composure, both teams.
You know what's better than one Papa John's pizza? Two Papa John's pizza for only $6.99 each.
Only at Papa John's, bundle 2 or more Papa Pairings menu items for $6.99 each. Get your favorites for $6.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza. Better get you some Papa John's.
This Friday, audiences everywhere are calling Gladiator the single greatest movie of the year.
It will carry you to greatness.
This is what movies were made for. It's ferociously entertaining. See it on the biggest screen possible.
Strength and honor.
Strength and honor. Gladiator, rated R. Only in theaters Friday.
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual. Customize and save!
And then I wake up. Is Limu with you in all your dreams? Oh, yeah. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
He loves that baby.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
ESPN College Football is delivered by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Better get you some.
Back in Dallas, we went to break with both sidelines screaming. And Lewis, as it turns out, neither sideline really had much of a case.
Yeah, I mean, Brett Lashley wanted to get a roughing the kicker penalty here, roughing the punter. And there, that's not roughing the punter. And here he wanted Boston College wanted a late hit out of bounds, but as you can see, Isaiah Farris, he was still in bounds, took a big shot on the sideline, 1st and 10.
And off McDonald. And Boston College also might have been arguing for a targeting foul.
Yeah.
But it certainly looked more like forehead of the helmet than crown of the helmet. So in looking at all of the complaints that both sidelines were making, no flags were thrown. And it looks like the officials got it right all around. So BC has it back. 2nd down and 2. Still a ton of time left in this game. Both teams have all 3 timeouts as well. And Grayson James looking over. Play action. Steps up. A little shovel pass. Morales breaking 1 tackle. He's got a 1st down. Gets stood up and driven back by Kobe Wilson. But he easily picks up the 1st down. And a gain of 8 out to the 42-yard line.
That's his textbook pocket awareness on the part of Grayson James. Stepping up into the pocket, drifting left, keeping 2 hands on the ball as he's trying to get through traffic and finding his outlet. These tight ends have been money for him all game long. You know the shot play is coming over the middle of the field in that 15 to 18-yard area. He's had nice connection with Reed Harris. They've got to start moving the ball down the field. The clock is going to start becoming a factor. They need 2 possessions here. They got to get some chunk plays.
Crab crawling is McDonald. He's got 5. Now, if you're Boston College and you are going to keep playing at least play calling wise the way they're playing, with the run game being as much of what they do and more of a controlled passing game, you just have to get in and out of the huddle quicker and snap the ball quicker.
Absolutely. Your operation, your communication has got to be crisp, but they don't have big-time playmakers on the perimeter. They don't have that speed guy that can take the top off and burn you for 60, 70 yards, so they got to be efficient.
Play action. James, there's the check down. Scooped up by McDonald. Good catch and run. Inside the 35-yard line, down to the 34. Kobe Wilson made the stop, but BC's got 19 and a first down.
That's a smart football play by Grayson James. You see he's reading this deep to short. He's looking to see if he can get the ball to Reed Harris on the deep corner route. He doesn't have it. He looks at Jeremiah Franklin on the 7 route by the tight end. Doesn't have it. Comes back down to Jordan McDonald. That's just how you want it done. I mean, if you're Bill O'Brien, this is what you've been looking for out of the quarterback position. It hasn't always been absolutely perfect, but he's just going through the progressions, executing the offense.
Right up the middle goes Robichaux. 5 yards on first down.
If you can stay in 2nd and 5 or less, that also makes it much easier for Will Long to call plays. Now you've got a lot at your disposal. You still got the play-action passing game because the run is still an option here on 2nd down. You can go to the drop-back game if you want. You could run the football if you want it here still, because as a defensive coordinator, you're thinking, look, they've got everything at their disposal, so what do you call? It's a good situation for BC to be in.
They bring McDonald back in. He takes the handoff. A yard short of the first down. Make it 3rd down and 1.
And you just like how Boston College's offensive line in particular, I mean, Drew Kendall has really been doing work here. You see Will Long on the far right of your screen right there, the play caller here for Boston College right there. And he's dialing up some real good stuff here for Grayson James, and has really had this SMU defense a little bit on its heels.
Robichaux, first down. BC is now 6 of their last 9 on 3rd down after an 0-for-4 start. Now they're down by 2 scores, and this style of offense really eats away at the clock, which earlier on in the game, shortening the game for Boston College against the high-powered offense of SMU, that would help. But now you're down by 10, and there's 7.5 minutes to go.
And on top of it, if it's 2 scores, like, you don't want to trot your field goal team, your PAT team out there. So it's truly 2 scores.
Robichaux up the middle. 1st and goal, BC. Wachovia made the stop, but not before Robichaux got to the 8.
Yeah, Boston College has a lot to play for, too, here now. They're trying to become bowl eligible, and their guys are playing like it. You see Robichaux, I mean, he is the poster boy right now for a football character, highly competitive, a guy who's trying to play high-quality football here, even though they're not going to get to the college football playoff. And you see it there, the ball control aspect. It was 8 full minutes of time of possession over SMU.
Robichaux again. Down to the 3-yard line, or it will be 2nd down and goal. Well, the first time we had BC earlier this year, Bill O'Brien said it. He said, look, it's been 15 years since this program has won 8 games. So, yes, we know we're not probably a college football playoff level team, but don't think for 1 second getting sustainable winning back at Boston College isn't important, and establishing that this year.
You look back at their season, really, Virginia Tech was really the only game that really got away from them.
Robichaux. A push at the goal line. Is he in? No signal yet. The officials run in. BC thinks it's a touchdown. It is a touchdown. Finally, the late signal from the official on the far side says BC's got it in the end zone. And here comes the point after group to try and cut the lead to 3.
That veteran offensive line, and then Kai Robichaux. Here you see the replays. It's hard to get a good look at where Robichaux is and where the ball is in relationship to breaking the plane. It's another look at it. It's hard to even identify him there in the pile.
there are a bunch of knees that look like they're heading down towards the turf. I can't even tell which ones belong to Robic.
Yeah, you just see, you can see his arm. If we can run that back one more time, you see his arm right there. You see it up in the air before they got to the goal line, but you just can't tell where his feet are.
And it looks like he's going backwards almost, so his knees can't come down. Let's see, it looks like he gets twisted and almost ends up backing his way into the end zone on top of all of these bodies. Matt Austin is our officiating expert. And all right, Matt, you tell me whether or not that's a touchdown inside of all those bodies.
Well, I certainly think it is. I agree with you, Bob. I don't think he was ever down. I think he was always on top of other players until he hit the end zone and half his body was in with the ball. So I think this will stand as a touchdown.
See, Matt, see how easy it is to do your job?
Yeah, you're going to see his right arm with the ball in it. You're going to see it pop up here.
I mean, how would you ever definitively say one way or the other?
Right there.
Yeah.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
As you would predict, that is a sea of humanity, and it certainly looks as if he got the ball across the goal line and kept his body alive. And so Roba shows touchdown, the point after group on the field to try and make this a 3-point game with 5:52 to go. Liam Connor's got another extra point down the middle.
No sweat whatsoever.
Easy for you to say.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well.
Only for the SEC, but also the college football playoff, our all-state playoff predictor. As Tennessee and Georgia both very much still alive, according to our metric, even with a loss to make the 12-team playoff. And again, from an SMU standpoint, looking through the lens of our game, what could you imagine Tennessee, were they to lose tonight, being a 2-loss team that would really take a major hit to make the SEC championship game, still being 60% to make the field. Rashard Smith tries to turn the corner and is going to run out of room up against the sideline, but a nice cutback gets him out to the 30-yard line. We check in with Matt Barrow.
All right, Bob Shoes, and Stanford just won't go away against Louisville. Here, 4th and goal. Ashton Daniels to Emmett Mosley, the 5th for 6. Back in the end zone. Now a touchdown game late in the 4th quarter. Coming up, top of the hour right here on ESPN. Some more entertaining Big 12 football. Cam Scatteraboo returns for the Arizona State Sun Devils. That coming up just over 20 minutes right here on ESPN as they take on Kansas State.
So those teams trying to stay alive for the Big 12 title game. Tunnel screen almost intercepted. Oh my goodness. A dangerous throw from Kevin Jennings, and Cam Horsley was there, and he might have pick-sixed it had he held up.
He read this perfectly. Watch him stop his rush. He sees it. He sees him look right and then come back left. He reads his eyes, plays the hunch. Nice job, Cam Horsley.
2nd down and 10 for SMU. BC rushes 4. Jennings sidearms 1. Coming back to help out his quarterback is Hudson, short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and 2, and what a big play this is. Under 5.5 minutes to go.
You see defensive coordinator Tim Lewis throwing the entire playbook at Kevin Jennings, making him feel as though they're going to send 5 or more, but still only rushing 4. He just doesn't know which 4 it's going to be. Trying to play enough coverage in the back end to make sure they don't give up any explosive. Big 3rd down here.
They'll throw for it. They won't get it. Flag out. They wanted Keyshawn Smith. Isaiah Farris is going to get flagged for pass interference, and that will give SMU the 1st down.
Isaiah Farris played this little smash route perfectly.
Defense number 16. By rule, the ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic 1st down.
Problem is he played it too perfect. He read it perfectly. Watch him get the break here. Watch his right foot. Boom. He's driving on it. He already knows what it's going to be. He just times it up. He's just there like a touch too soon. But as a corner in that high-pressure situation where you know you're one-on-one on the outside against these wide receivers, you can't ask them to play it any better than that. You just got to time it up better. Just a hair too soon.
the ground attack, and getting planted was Brashard Smith. He got hit with one arm by Cam Horsley, and Cam Horsley just flattened him after a gain of about a half yard.
He just held off the blocker with one arm and just stuck out that big right arm and just clotheslined him to the ground.
Four and a half minutes to go.
And you see now Brett Lashley just letting that clock go, taking time off of it, talking to his quarterback.
Clock down to 8, and they snap it. BC brings a delayed four-man rush. They're going to take a shot downfield. Incomplete. Jordan Hudson blanketed that time by Isaiah Ferris. That stops the clock with 4:12 remaining and brings up 3rd down and 9.
And just watch Isaiah Ferris here playing off man coverage against maybe one of the most explosive receivers here on this roster. And Jordan Hudson. And if you think it's easy being out there on that highway against this offense, think again.
This play might determine whether or not Boston College gets a chance, or SMU holds on to the football. Here comes a blitz. Jennings loops one to the sideline, incomplete. 4:07 remaining, so a ton of time on the clock as Matthew Hipner was the intended receiver. And BC's about to get the ball back, down by only 3.
And this time they try and go after the freshman, Omar Thornton, number 30, who they had some high praise for as far as some of the comparisons that the coaching staff made between his play and some great players in the NFL. Tim Lewis, again, just making his defensive backs deliver in man coverage situations. And here they're going to get the ball back with just under 4 minutes.
Isaiah Ferris. He's going to let it bounce, and it hops into the end zone for a touchback. Good decision by Ferris. So Boston College will have it at their own 20-yard line. The perfect season in the ACC for SMU is on the line. And let's go down to Chris.
You watch Grayson James on the sidelines, and you understand why Bill O'Brien made that move. He is constantly talking to his teammates, always positive, always motivating, walking around with a smile. He just went up to his offensive line. He's like, we're going to win this right here.
If you're Scott Simons, the defensive coordinator for SMU, what do you call? How do you try and disrupt Grayson James right now? He's in a nice rhythm. What are you calling?
Robichaux up the middle. And he is turned back, but not before he got about 8 yards. Ahmad Walker made the stop. 3:45 to go.
Boston College, all 3 of their timeouts left still, Bob. So the run game is still something that's in their playbook. But passing the football, getting some chunk plays here, getting down here into a situation where Bill O'Brien would be comfortable attempting a field goal. You're not going to be able to run the football all the way down the field. You're going to have to put it in the air.
Robichaux bounced back. Gain of only 1 yard. Another tackle for Kobe Wilson. 3rd down and 1.
Tight ends have been big for this football team. They have been the safety blanket for Grayson James. Reed Harris has been a safety blanket for Grayson James. That's where I would start. Kamari Morales, make sure you take care of 88. Reed Harris, number 4, Lewis Bond really hasn't made an impact. You see him here in the slot, down at the bottom of the screen.
An option pitch to McDonald. He won't get there. 4th down and 1. Ahmad Walker cut him down before he got to the 30-yard line.
I'm sitting there going, why are you trying to run the football with Ahmad Walker? Well, obviously, this is a 4-down situation. So now they've got a chance here. What's the play call? Who are they going to? You see Kamari Morales going out of the game. The tight end who has been so productive here today.
Will BC get a 4th down snap off before the 2-minute timeout? They don't have to snap it. They can let it go all the way down to the 2 and take their time. And now a timeout will be called north of the 2-minute timeout. No.
SMU.
It went down to 2 minutes on the
seconds.
clock. Let's see. We have 2 minutes on the clock. So did it reach the 2-minute timeout before SMU called time?
Please reset the game clock to 2 minutes, 3 seconds. This is not the 2-minute timeout.
So there it is. They're going to say that SMU called time.
Please reset the game clock.
2:03 to go. So Boston College will snap the ball before the 2-minute timeout, and we will run this 4th down play on the north side of the 2-minute.
You just love some of the chess match that goes on in this football game. Bill O'Brien on the headset with his offensive coordinator right now. Bill O'Brien has been in some of the biggest situations that you can be in during his time with the New England Patriots, with the Alabama Crimson Tide.
And they've got McDonald Lewis in the game, not Robichaux. So this is not the big heavy back in Robichaux as much.
I'm trying to get this ball to Kamari Morales.
They're going to dive ahead and move the pile. And I guess McDonald at 220 pounds, heavy enough to move for the first down. And that will bring us to the 2-minute timeout.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
So we will step aside. 31-28 SMU, but BC with a chance.
The Emirates NBA Cup, Friday on ESPN.
Incoming dishes.
Down to the final 2 minutes. Inside of 2 minutes, in fact. Bob Wischusen, Louis Riddick, Chris Budden here in Dallas. 31-28, SMU has the lead over Boston College, but BC has the ball and a chance, and they've got all 3 of their timeouts as well. On first down, Grayson James. He's going to get wrapped up, fight his way back to the line of scrimmage and beyond for about a yard, but it's going to be 2nd down and 9.
Trying to get that ball to Reed Harris on another in-breaker. Good coverage on the part of SMU. And then the pass rush just caving back inside and getting him on the ground.
Cameron Robertson brought him down. Here comes a blitz. Under pressure off his back foot, James heaves one out of bounds. Over the head of Reed Harris. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 9. Ahmad Walker heating up Grayson James.
It's smart on the part of Scott Simons. He says, hey, look, we know who you're trying to get the ball to. We're going to start with trying to take away number 4, Reed Harris, and then Kamari Morales 2nd. And if we're not going to give help on those guys, we're going to send 5 or more after you. Now I would be looking to make sure I double those 2 guys and make sure you take those 2 guys away from Grayson James and make him work through his progressions. You see Reed Harris at the top of the screen.
Another blitz. James tied up. James going down. Kobe Wilson brings him down. BC compelled to use a timeout. 1:18 to go. And now they'll need a miracle. It's going to be 4th down and a mile.
Well,
it's a 10-yard loss.
If Grayson James could keep his eyes up, just watch what's happening right here. Watch what's happening with Jeremiah Franklin. He's wide open, but the pass rush makes him bring his eyes down. If he could just held on for just another tick, instead of trying to escape up in the pocket, if he could have just stood in there or just let that ball go with some anticipation, Jeremiah Franklin may be scoring a touchdown right now. They may be winning this football game.
Now remember, they hit a huge one in the red zone earlier on 3rd down and 20 back in the first half. So 4th down and 19. Boston College in a must spot. Down by 3, only 2 timeouts left. They have to go for it. If you punt it away here, you're going to run out of time. 4-man rush. James. Pocket collapses. Down he goes. A takeaway on downs. And SMU's going to win it. Jafari Harvey with the exclamation point.
just a good job of coordinated pass defense. People playing the sticks, and then the pass rush, just rushing with lane integrity. They don't give him an easy first read. He has to wait for the receivers to get down past the sticks to line the game. And by that time, Jafari Harvey is able to come out here on the right side of your screen and just continue fighting, continue rushing the passer. The secondary, the back seven doing their job. Gives the pass rush time to work. Good coordinated defense to get off the field on that fourth down.
They're running plays. Rashard Smith goes up the middle. And a timeout call.
It will be 30 seconds.
When Grayson James goes back and watches this tape, and he looks back on the play where he had Jeremiah Franklin going down the field on that third down play, he's going to say, why did I try to escape this pocket? It just would have kept my eyes down the field. We may have won the game on that throw.
Not sure how wise it is for SMU to put the ball in harm's way here. If you run around, even if you're Kevin Jennings, kill some time and basically take a knee, Boston College would have to use another timeout. They would be out. And then you could take the clock all the way well down inside of 20 seconds to go before you'd have to kick a field goal. If you're running plays here, BC has a chance to rip the ball out. They're going to run a jet sweep. BC has to rip at the football. Ezaraku knows it. And Jordan Hudson protects it to the 6-yard line.
Not only a jet sweep, but a little bit of a tap pass jet sweep.
58 seconds to go. The pass rush for SMU changes the game on that last possession, Lewis.
Yeah, give him credit. Give Scott Simon's crew credit. They continue to fight, continue to try and collapse the pocket. Again, trying to cage the passer, send a little bit of extra pressure on him. He feels it, although he had a lane to kind of step up and deliver the throw down the field to Jeremiah Franklin. And then here, he's just got to put that ball up in the air. It's a fourth down situation, give his wide receivers maybe a chance to just make a high point play on the ball, but instead surrenders the sack, and now SMU is in the driver's seat.
Roderick Daniels is brought down. 50 seconds to go, and the play clock winding down. And it's going to take the clock all the way down. There's about a 12-second differential between the play clock and the game clock. And it's going to be fourth down at the 5-yard line. So, for all intent and purposes, Rhett Lashley, I don't know, can you just kick a field goal here? You run a play on fourth down? Either way, Boston College is either going to end up with the ball, best case scenario, at their 5-yard line or receiving a kickoff.
Second charge timeout, SMU. It will be 30 seconds.
So there's the timeout called with 13 seconds to go. If SMU runs a play and they don't get it, BC would have the ball with no timeouts inside their own 5-yard line or about at their own 5-yard line. If you kick a field goal, then that takes whatever, 4 or 5 seconds off the clock. The kickoff would probably be the last play of the game unless it's a touchback. And then maybe BC would get one snap.
The question is, what unit does he trust more?
He's going to leave his offense on the field.
And they've had some snaps where the field goal unit, the extra point unit, it just wasn't a clean operation. Maybe he doesn't trust it at this point. Maybe he wanted to just put the ball in the hands of his quarterback. A lot of things that could go wrong in this situation, too.
Jet sweep again. And it's spinning into the end zone. Keyshawn Smith scores the touchdown. Well, that's the best case scenario for the Ponies as they pad their lead and put it completely out of reach with 8 seconds to go. So they will stay perfect so far in the ACC this year. And their only loss this season is to a top 16.
I mean, what great trust that he has in Kevin James, and he's just going to execute this perfectly and get it to Keyshawn Smith. You see the blocking out on the perimeter by L.J. Johnson. And these wide receivers, man, whether it's catching balls down the field or in catch and run situations or jet sweep situations, this is what they've done all season long. Just a fun offensive team to watch.
So Colin Rogers to tack on one more. And that gives SMU the 10-point lead.
Just trusting your playmakers to make plays. And again, Kevin Jennings, he trusts that he will get the ball in the hands of Keyshawn Smith. It'll be a smooth operation. They practice this stuff all the time. Again, stood out here and watched them. You see the block yesterday during practice. You see the blocking on the perimeter by Stone Eby, the tight end, number 44. And if you're Grayson James, you're sitting here just thinking, you're thinking back to that third down play. You're thinking back, if he's had a chance to watch it on the iPad on the sideline, if I just stepped up in the pocket and kept my eyes up, I had the tight end seam coming wide open. It was wide open, and he wouldn't have got sacked. He had time. You have to live and learn through that one.
Well, Boston College gave SMU about as good a game as they could have expected. But the Mustangs, again, proved to be too much for an ACC foe. They're a complete football team. And this kick will hook through the back of the end zone. So SMU stays undefeated. And we're going to move them up to 6-0, 9-1 overall. Their only loss, and it was by a field goal back at the beginning of September to BYU. An undefeated team in their own right, and a team right now comfortably in the college football playoff standings up at the top 10. And that was back when they were still kind of in quarterback limbo themselves. Preston Stone started that BYU game. That was when Kevin Jennings came in and replaced Stone. And that was when the offense flipped to a Jennings run offense, as now their shot downfield will be what you would expect. Maybe the second to last play of the game. Dino Tomlin makes a catch out to midfield. I don't think BC's going to get another snap off. The clock goes to all zeros, and that will make it official. And SMU is able to survive at home over Boston College and win it 38-28. So another ACC win for SMU. We go down to Chris Button.
Coach, congratulations. You remain undefeated in the ACC. Just your second time this group playing on ESPN. What do you hope the country learned about SMU football today?
Well, we'll fight and we'll compete. We know how to win. I mean, I think that's 18 out of our last 20 games we've won. Thought our offense played really good. The only two times we punted all night was at the end when we didn't need to. But defensively, we didn't play our best, but when we needed it, we made a stop. We got a lot of grit.
I appreciate it. Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks, Chris.
So SMU wins at 38-28 over Boston College. For Lewis Riddick and Chris Button, I'm Bob Wischusen.
ASU 2 of 3 so